And welcome to another fine day of attitudes and arseholes, let me tell you. Oh, I'm too tired and too old for this crap, I tell you. It really is frustrating. It's one thing. Oh, by the way, hey, I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Thanks for tuning in today. Well, I think officially we're going to call this Car Musings. I think it has got a good ring to it. It's not like any of these are going to be really edited and stuff like that. It's going to be pretty much raw and in your face for what you get for when I record. So, if you're expecting the fine tuned studio ship, hey, give me a donation, send me some help, support me a little. And yeah, we can get that whole studio rendition thing going on. But unless you're going to put your money where your mouth is, I don't want to hear it. Anyways, again, I'm your host, Matt Morgan, and I don't know. It's one of those Saturdays. I'm at odds with my wife. I'm at odd odds with my daughter. And let's be honest. And I'm gonna break this down. The reality is that raising a girl is so much more difficult. Not exclusively, but I find so much more energy has to go into raising a girl than it does, a boy. Because girls are so fucking whiny. Like, and I'm not trying to be, you know, sexist or anything else. It has nothing to do with that. I've had experience with both, raising boys and raising a girl. And the thing is, in all honesty, the girls are just so fucking dramatic. Like, it's so cliche. It makes me sick at times. Um, and I understand it's a part of growing up and all this stuff like that. But you think that we would be evolved a little more at this point, across the scale, across the board when it comes to certain things. And the fact that teenagers still typically fit into this stereotypical normal process of things, like it's the same shit all the frickin' time. Like when your kids are younger, you think they're going in a direction, and oh yeah, I'm not gonna have to deal with that crap. I got like a perfect kid, perfect kid, perfect kid, excellent. Yeah, sure, they're well behaved and everything else, and you know this is good, but they still fit into those teenagehood freaking sluts. Why? Don't know. Nobody's decided to change the method. Nobody's decided to change the method. I mean, there's been processes, there's been theories, there's been, attempts, but very far and few between do you see a teenager that hasn't fallen into the typical steps and processes and everything else. Very rarely. If you do, that's a one in a million. Diamond in the rough. I mean, I thought my daughter was going to be that, right? I really did. She still had this impression that she's like the perfect kid. She's not. She's not the fucking perfect kid. Hands down across the board. She's good. She listens in the long run. When push comes to shove, or she gets her head out of her ass and realizes that, oh yeah, that's right. Maybe it's not a good idea to do this or do that or whatever. So, but she puts up such a fuss when she throws her tantrums and wants her own way. You know, it's like, why do we have to expel that energy? Why? We shouldn't have to expel that energy. Like, get your head out of your ass and realize that I shouldn't have to be getting up still early in the morning to drive you to practice. There's no reason you can't have your license other than being lazy. There's no reason. No frickin' reason at all. You should be able to get your ass into a car, drive yourself to friggin' practice so I can sleep. And don't get me wrong, it's coming to the point where push is going to come to shove. And yeah, those drives ain't happening. Those drives ain't happening. I am literally not driving. That's exactly how it's going to be. And, she's just going to have to suck it up. I'm sorry. The chauffeur has quit. The chauffeur is no longer working. Please come again. So, that's kind of how it's going to end up being eventually. Because, yeah, I shouldn't have to keep doing this for the rest of my life. It's not my responsibility. Like, step up, do your responsibility. What is it, friggin'? And I'm gonna, yeah, people are like, oh, I don't give credence to generations. Bullshit. Honestly, it is a psychological friggin' thing, right? That generations fit into a certain series of characteristic behaviors. It's hands down. It's just the way it is. You know, you can argue the fact, but it still exists, right? It still exists. It is a reality. You know, millennials. I have a whole new respect for millennials. I really do. They followed the Gen X's, and frankly, they contributed or attributed and gained some of our friggin' abilities, some of our skills and traits and everything else. But they seem to be pretty business savvy. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I have witnessed that there is a good portion of, you know, the millennials that are business savvy. What did we do when it came to Gen Zs? We freaking broke the kids. We turned them into snot nose sniveling, fucking whining. Oh, everything's me, me, me. Cater to me. Oh, be soft with me. Oh, don't hurt me. What the fuck? I mean, and what's worse is that society somewhat seems to be bending to this whiny attitude. Like, it really is annoying. It really is annoying. Why are we catering to this generation? Why are we making a generation of cream puffs? And don't even get me started on the Gen Alphas. Like, do they deserve that title? Those guys are freaking nuts. They made their own language somehow. Who does that? Who comes up with a generation and goes, hey, you know what? Let's get heads out of toilets and make a completely ridiculous language. Is there a department on this that says, let's design our next generation and let's do this with these? These guys are still in diapers and they're got a whole language. What the hell? How does that work? I have no idea. I have no idea how that works. At least you can somewhat talk to a Gen Z, you know, until they start whining about stuff. But seriously, I mean, we have enough stupidity in the world, but then now we have generations of stupidity and whiners and everything else. It's like, I don't know, there's a greater scheme somewhere. There's a greater scheme somewhere that's trying to put these obstacles and categorize these obstacles so then they could mold a generation. It's like they're science experiments. Okay, so Gen Zs, what are we going to do with them? We're going to make them book smart, but whiners and babies and cannot do anything for themselves. They can get good grades, but, you know, they're completely unable to do certain other things, right? They can achieve something when they, you know, but they can't even wipe their own asses. So it's kind of one of those, all right, so there's this and then there's that. We're going to give them this quality here and then we're going to take this quality away, this trait away. So it's like, we can't do this, we can do this. We can't do this, we can do this. And it's like, it doesn't really make sense. You know, why would we not just build a super friggin' soldier versus a wimp? We did the super soldier generation. We did Gen X's, right? Gen X's were at that time that needed to be there, and freaking they made us tough. They made us survivors. Okay, so they damped it down a little when it come to millennials. I kind of like look at millennials as, yeah, you're like the metrosexual generation. You know, you're metrosexual. That's all you are. You're metrosexual. That's what we're gonna make you. You know, we're gonna powder your hair and we're gonna powder your ass, but we're gonna still give you some survivability traits. That's not a problem. We can do that. Oh, I tell you. Not that we don't have enough ignorance and arrogance in this friggin' world with stupidity and idiots. Like, it just. Do we need to harvest a generation? Do we need to, put all that together? Do we need to make our generations more stupid? Like, I don't know if we need to do this. It just doesn't make sense to me. We have enough obstacles in this world that we shouldn't have to introduce more for amusement. Anyways, it's like describing a Generation Z want to hide in turtle shells in their friggin' hoodies, wear their stupid rubber masturbation shoes. They don't have sex. It's almost like you're a leper if you do. Um, you don't know how to have an in-person conversation face to face, but damn, you can have a full-blown relationship on your freaking texting and Snapchat. Like, I don't understand the whole how they figure it all out, how they justify it, how they, you know, how they put it all together. I mean, how they even rationalize it doesn't make sense to me. It's like they know better, but they don't want to do it. It's like there's really no leaders in this group. It's all a bunch of like whatevers. Then nobody leads anything. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's one of those things. And that's just giving an instant excuse by saying that. It's just one of those things. Yeah, just wave it off. It's okay. It's okay. We don't have to worry about it. You know? We don't have to worry about it. It's one of those things. Okay, great. It's one of those things. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean we should continue it. You can keep saying it's one of those things until the cows come home. Doesn't mean we shouldn't correct it. But do we? No. No. You know. I mean, I would kind of love to see where Gen Zs end up in 10 years. I shudder to think that they're still living at home. Still living at home. Still not able to even fucking wipe their asses, you know. There's a few standouts, you know, that do have independence traits, and that's great, and I applaud them. I think that's excellent, because you need that. But for the most part, it's like, fuck, they can't do anything. They can't fricking do anything. I don't know. I'm having one of those mornings, as I said. I'm at odds. I'm always at odds with the world, right? Because there's so much freaking stupidity in this world. So many stupid people. Like, everybody should start thinking what they do before they do it. But they don't. Oh, are you without? People are like, are you without flaw? Are you perfect? No, I ain't freaking perfect. But there's a logical way to do things, right? There's a logical way to do things. And we know better. We should know better. If we don't know better, then you're in the wrong society, right? If you come from somewhere else and you come here, learn the ways of here, okay? Just like in reverse. If I was from here and I go over there, learn the ways of there. Don't try to influence. Don't try to change. That's not how it works. There is a governing body and a good enough series of norm that doesn't want to alter their ways because they're comfortable with their ways. But don't bring your ways somewhere else and expect those people to be happy with your ideas. It doesn't work that way. You will get opposition. And let's think about this for 1 second. I know, read between the lines. If you're coming from somewhere else to another place, I'm not just talking countries, I'm talking in general. Obviously, you left the place that you were at for a reason. So why are you trying to come to the new place and do things like you did in the old place. Do you not see how stupid that is? So you left where you're coming from for a reason. Why would you try to change because you're used to it a certain way? The new place you're going, hoping for a better life, right? It doesn't make sense. So what? You can just make the new place the same as the old place, and then what are you gonna frickin' do, genius? This doesn't make sense. Anyways, so what did we start off? Okay, we started off with this. So I'm just having one of those Saturdays, right? Having one of those Saturdays. At odds with the wife, at odds with the daughter. I have an important day. It's my mom's 78th. You know, gotta make the most of this and make it special for her. That's my goal. And it's just, you know, I'd rather not have the negative vibe, but say everybody else is trying to piss me off. Oh, I have made some other conclusions recently, which is kind of good. But that's a topic for another show. Let's get back on track with teenagers. Let's end the show on that note. Listen, parents, if you have a teenager as a teenager at this point, stage of the game, as you're listening to this, teach them to be more independent. No, there's nothing wrong with that. Teach them what life skills are. Otherwise, they're living with you until they're 40, and you don't want that. You don't want that. You might want your time back and your life back, right? So you don't want them to live with you till you're 40. Trust me on this one. I mean, okay, I understand. You know, certain ages you have rebellion, you don't do shit, everything else. But you know, we're not supposed to discipline our kids the way that you used to because that was so wrong. Well, it was so wrong. Why did it work so well? You know, you know. But try to get some old school discipline on your kids. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying get the belt out and whip them again. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, listen, they live and breathe through their freaking idiot boxes, their phones, because they're idiot boxes. They don't use them as phones. They're idiot boxes for idiots. I would say, oh, you don't want to do something? Boom, take the phone away. You could try turning off the Wi-Fi, but most of them have data now. So I remember the days when I controlled the internet access. I could just flip it off one of my apps. It was great. And then we got data for her. That's like shit. I can't do that anymore. But I would say, you know, let's look at what is their lifeline, and that's pretty much, you know, their cell phones or idiot boxes, I call them. Take them away. That's my first and foremost recommendation. Take away the frickin' thing that they live on. Take that away. And that's a good start. Secondly, encourage them to do real world activities to obtain skills in which they need, like chores around the house. And very typical of this generation is, oh, I'll do it later. No, put your freaking foot down and go, listen, you're getting that done right now. None of this later bullshit. You get it done right now. Just get it done. Put your foot down. I would insist upon it. Really, 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 the earlier the better. Smush this whole, I'll do it later. You know? But they want everything instantly. They want it now. But, you know, when you ask them to do something, I'll do it later. Well, the thing is that this teenage ignorance is, it's infective. It's ineffective, but it's infectious. They actually, it's like a disease. They spread to each other. So there's 2 points, right? Just take away the cell phone and get them to do chores. Lastly, lastly, is you give them the basics of what they need to live and survive. Everything else, no, 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 no. You don't have to, you know, run around doing all this shit for them. You don't have to drive them places. You don't have to pick up after them. Like, I'll tell you one thing I started doing. It's like, hi, you know, these clothes don't belong here, and then they'll constantly return back to that place. Oh, all right, fair enough. So I take said clothes and I put them somewhere else. That's all I do. Like for instance, my daughter's not allowed to have hoodies behind the clothes because she has like a million and one hoodies, but she's not allowed to put hoodies behind the bathroom door for a variety of different reasons. But regardless of our reasons for it, the thing is, there's no hoodies behind the door. So ever since we moved her room, we insisted that everything go into her room and she transport stuff, be more independent, not so lazy. And so if I walk in the bathroom and there's hoodies behind the door, I take them and I put them in the laundry. Simple as that. And I just keep doing that. I just will, you put them back behind the door? Yeah, back in the laundry they go. And that's where they live. They're supposed to be in your room, but we're gonna. So you can yell at them. Generally, it doesn't go anywhere. You can bitch and complain and all that stuff like that. You can don't waste your time. Find more creative ways to actually get your point across. Yelling doesn't seem to go well. My mom taught me an old secret where she would use a very soft, low tone, and it actually works. You don't yell at them because they're expecting that. Soft, low tone. And it actually worked on me. I didn't realize it, but that actually works. So, I don't know. I would say get creative ways to get your point across. Like, I've had to do stuff like, the hoodies thing. Okay, that sucks. Clothes lying around the bathroom. That sucks. Um, the other thing is although I went to the extremes of buying a sign to put on the dishwasher to let her know that it's clean and she should empty it, she's still stupid that way. I've had to get more aggressive. And, you could tell her, but then she throws a tantrum. So basically, it's like you have to literally open the dishwasher, pull out the drawers, and walk away to get the point across to get, so they actually act on it. Like, really? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I shouldn't have to, but I've timed myself. You know how long it takes to empty a dishwasher properly? 2 minutes. A fully loaded dishwasher, 2 minutes. It's not fucking rocket science. Just get it done. Like, grr. Anyways. On that note, folks, yeah, I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Thanks for tuning in to Car Musings, and I am going to sign off now because I need to get a couple more hours sleep, and then I got to get up and do the rest of the weekend of family stuff. Yay, me. So wish me luck. Hey, subscribe, follow, donate, anything you can do to help us out. Spread the word, tell people about us. Whatever works, whatever you're willing to do. My mission is just to help people, share my experiences, share my stories, and try to make the world a better place. It's always been the goal for myself, Matt Morgan, is to make this world a better place. That's the end goal, folks. One voice may make a difference to some people, may provide some guidance, and that's all it comes down to. I'm not looking to be famous or rich or anything else. I just want to do my little part to make the world better. So again, I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Take care of yourself, check your integrity, and I'll see you next episode.